The book is called Bullying is Not a Game. It's a parent's survival guide, and joining us, the author, Laurie Flasko. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
The book came out in May.
Yes.
Response has been quite overwhelming.
Yes, it's been great.
A book like this, you've got to have a trigger point. And so what was the idea, the concept behind writing this book, knowing that there were a couple of first-hand accounts for you?
My daughter was bullied severely in grade 8, and it took a real toll on her and the family. And as a mom, I didn't know how to stop the bullying, and so I looked for resources, and there weren't any available for me. Over the course of time, my daughter ended up becoming depressed, suffered from anxiety. Took 5 years of keeping her alive and getting a lot of help during that time. During that time, I found a lot of things that worked, a lot of things that didn't, and so I wanted to make sure that other parents knew what to do if their child was being bullied.
What's encouraging is that your daughter is thriving, having just graduated and graduating from Brock University. So it did cover a number of years, but there was a solution. Looking back, did she say, "Mom, listen, some of the things you did were they were great, and thank you, and I really needed that, and it was the right thing at the time"?
She absolutely did, and one of the things that she said was, "You kept saying to me over and over again that I could do it, and you gave me positive reinforcement." That was a big thing that she said that I did, as well as other professionals.
There's different angles of looking at this book. You've written it for the parent. There's aspects in there for the child, but also for those that are the educators, those that are seeing it firsthand, because a lot of it happening within the school system.
Yes, that's correct. So the book does give a lot of good information to parents. It's written for parents, but there's a lot of experts in there that's provided us information that can help the school, the administrator, the teachers, as well as other professionals to be able to stop bullying.
So essentially a great read for the teachers as well.
Yes.
Can you go through it, because there may be some parents at home, and you know, this could be a situation that's happened over the years, or right now they're into the first 2 weeks of school and they're already starting to see a couple of signs. What was it for you that you started to notice things just weren't right?
Well, you know what? The thing with 25% of the kids don't report bullying. And another statistic to keep in mind is bullying happens every 7.5 minutes in the playground and 25 minutes in the classroom. And that's strong research from PrevNet. So my daughter, I didn't find out she was bullied until months later. But I did know some signs to keep an eye on, but they could be signs for anything, like weight loss, like being secretive, like being moody. But, you know, again, the age, those are things that could mean so many things. Changes in friends. Sleeping patterns, all of those subtle changes happened to her, and it wasn't until, as I say, quite a bit later that she wasn't going to school, and she'd wake up in the morning sick, but then at nighttime she was okay, and there was a pattern around this. And I just woke up. It was that mother's intuition that I knew something wasn't right, but it was months of her carrying that inside.
The one thing too, and I understand just skimming through, is there's a lot of emphasis on the victim, but there's also a little bit more understanding as well on the bully and what may be going on with them as well. Is there that sense of looking at how is this happening on the other side?
Well, the book doesn't focus a lot on that, but I think it's really important for all of us to watch labels, because we can all, one day, you know, kids today, they can be the bully, they can have been bullied, it can go back and forth. And if we think about, you know, our own experiences, I know for me, I was not nice at times, so we've got to watch the labels that we call kids, and that we really look at the behaviors that are happening with children and deal with those behaviors. Having a positive environment is one of the most important things we can do, a caring environment at home and in the classroom.
We do have, in case you're looking for a slight checklist here, we have a couple of tips right here, and so these were some of the ones that you had listed out. Any that we're looking at right now, create a safety plan. Safety plan is what?
So a safety plan is listening, having your child involved, and looking at times throughout the day that they might not feel safe, and making sure that they are a key thing, working with the school to include in the safety plan. And, you know, a lot of times we're focused on the child, keeping them safe, but they also have to deal with the bully and making sure that the bullying stops.
So there's express appreciation. Where I'm looking at some of the ones that I find to stand out for me. Express appreciation. What are we seeing there?
So I think, again, that's really looking at the positives. It's looking at the teachers. It's looking at who makes a difference. Again, it's the words that you use are very important.
There's a number of tips in there, and the best thing is to find it in the book, Bullying is Not a Game. I know that you're going to be speaking tomorrow with Steve Madeley up at CFRA, so if you're looking to have an extended conversation as well with Laurie, take the opportunity to do that. There's a look at the book. It came out in May, and where can people find this guide?
They can go directly to my website at www.bullyingisnotagame.com.
Okay, best way to be able to do that. I'm sure there's some great information on that site as well. Thanks, Laurie, and
Thanks,
great
Leanne.
to hear that your daughter is doing well.
Yes.
And chosen a career, I think, too, that will reflect some of the experiences
Absolutely.
she had that she went through as a child.